18 degrees, and then we shoot back up to 19 degrees for Friday. Enjoy the sunshine over the next couple of days. Right now, you can enjoy Matt Lee. He joins us, and if you have any home rentals you're thinking about, maybe add some value to your home, insulation is a good place to start. And break it down for us, the history, because it has evolved over the years.
Yeah, when we've talked about different things, I mean, you could go from looking at a farmhouse where they open up a lath and plaster wall and there's mud and horsehair, you know, or there's straw or hay or anything that they cut off the fields to actually create insulation in the house. And then it goes through stages where they used pink bat insulation, they used
even before that,
even
before that, the asbestos.
Well, and that's kind of mixed in at that time. That's why we have to check houses in that time, because there was this pink bat insulation and there was this vermiculite that was happening and the asbestos was mixed in. Ugh. So it's just, we go through these times, and now we're up to using spray foam a lot of the time. You know, Ruxol, lots of different SM board. We'll look at the different types and what the R value is. So it just kind of gives you what the insulation value is per square inch.
Well, the latest insulation, I think, not only is it going to save you money, it's also good for the environment.
It is, and we're upping our building code, and basically now, if you look at, you know, years ago it was kind of like R30, R40, which is a fairly thick amount of insulation in your attic to try to keep the heat in the house. Now we're up to R60, which kind of we can definitely see the difference. We're looking at a house that's going to be cathedral ceilings. This is yellow bat insulation, but this is the fiberglass style. They've packed the walls full. This is a different style each one. So on the right hand side, the pink bat insulation, then you got cellulose, and then you have two different types of spray foam. One is the farthest one is more dense, and of course it always costs more, but it is more efficient, you know, and it's something that when we're looking at these different ones, the more efficient that they are, the less you're going to pay in heat over time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
It is a win-win. Spray foam is not, it doesn't prevent sound. Ruxol is more of that green insulation that prevents sound, so you can kind of get that sound barrier if you're trying to separate an area where you want it to be, you know, you're thinking, okay, I want this area to be more soundproof. You want to go with more of that thicker bat insulation than the spray foam. Yeah, there's different types here. When you're redoing a home, I mean, this is something that they're either showing a new house being built or they're showing somebody redoing their home, and they're saying, okay, we're going to put a brick veneer on the outside of the house, but our house isn't very energy efficient. These are two SM boards. That's an SM board that goes in behind the brick. This can be put behind it as well. It just creates that barrier between the winters that we have and the exterior of the house. So you've got this 2x6 wall, then you've got this SM board, and then you've got this brick or vinyl on the outside. So you're just creating a thicker wall and more of a chance of preventing that from coming in.
So insulation is also dependent on the region or the geography too.
Yeah, you know, I think that it's one of these things that we deal with a lot of bad winters. So we want to make sure that we want to have everything that's running energy efficient for ourselves, and we're not overspending on our heat bills.
Perfect. Yeah. We have a couple more pictures here.
This is a graph, and basically this breaks it down. It's really good to see fiberglass as the bat insulation. It gives you what the R value is per inch. And as you can see, it goes down further and further to the spray foam. And you can see that the top 4 or 5 here is spray foam in regards to what the R value is. So you have your fiberglass insulation, then you have your cellulose, and then you have your spray foam insulation. That SM board that is in behind the brick, and you can also do your rec rooms in the basement and different things. They actually put it on the outside of houses. They actually use on the foundations as well. It is 5 per square inch, so it kind of fits in with that foam, the spray foam insulation as well.
And if you're doing any renovations, especially with older homes, you recommend a professional come in?
I would. You know, you start to tear walls apart, you want to make sure that you're knowing what you're getting into. Depending on how old the house is, you know, definitely what we see in the downtown, or if you see farmhouses, you're dealing with lath and plaster. Sometimes you want to test for DSRs just to see what's in the plaster. But yeah, you want to have a professional come in and, you know, look at what your best options are.
Yep. Thank goodness the days of mud and horsehair are over.
Yeah,
And straw.
exactly. Yeah, and asbestos too.
And probably newspapers, I think, in some.
Yeah, newspapers were in there as well. Shredded newspapers.
Oh my goodness.
So.
Matt Lee, great advice. We thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Real Estate Tips, brought to you by Matt Lee of Royal LePage.